Welcome to the Cherrywood podcast with me, Rachel Burridge.
And me, Simon Burridge. Yes.
Okay. So, for Cherrywood podcasts, Ellis, Rose and Callum McCormac.
Pathetic little clap, that, wasn't it?
Well, that was a small one.
Well done. Wrong one. Right. I had mentioned this to you before. First thing we got to do before I introduce you, that signpost. Right. Post that sign. You're already on my nerves. You're back. That looks good. Well, the way that's flopped down. You got to give me a time from the pod. What am I trying to say? When the podcast. Oh my God! I've gone full on. I'll say what I've gone full on, but you know what I've got full on.
Basically, in the whole podcast, this sign will fall down. The likelihood is that will fall down. You just have to give it the time on when you think. Is that all right?
Or you can say it's not going to fall down because you know that it's got new tape on it, and I didn't use the tape on the last.
You said 5 minutes with the old tape, so
yeah,
I reckon 10.
You reckon 10, do you?
If we can talk for that long.
I'm happy to give you your own time as it's like this.
18 minutes.
10. No, it's going to last way longer than that, I reckon. And then mind. Okay, so we're done, aren't we? We're done.
What I think?
We're done, with you? No, dude. And I stuck a chicken down there, so it does fall off. It goes, sounds like you in bed. Right? Okay, right. We've got Callum and we've got Ellis, and they are from Newlook Tiling and...
I'm a quantity surveyor, so my company's called J McCormac Consulting.
J McCormac Consulting, and you've got something combined, is that right?
Yes, correct, yeah. So we've recently opened up McCormac and Rose Construction.
Brilliant. So where do you want to go from? Do you want to go from your own roles and move into McCormac Construction with your stories?
Tell them about your business.
Yeah, I mean, I think the long-term sort of goal, obviously we're both from construction backgrounds. I think long-term, we're just trying to build the construction business. Eventually we'll probably merge the both, and then we'll just stick at the construction full time.
Okay.
But at the minute we're trying to juggle the two, which is quite challenging.
Let's talk about the business you've got at the moment then. So Newlook Tiling, I've known you for about 3 years, haven't I? I've basically mentored you, hasn't I? Isn't that right? No?
Yeah. Taught me everything.
No. I've taught him sort of like, weightlifting instructions. What am I trying to say? I don't know what I'm trying to say. But I've taught him stuff. Which obviously, look, it's working wonders.
Yeah.
Rachel's salivating now. And so, let's talk about Newlook Tiling, how you got to it. I know a bit how you got to it because you tell me once a week for a minute, but tell everyone else.
Right, so I started working with my dad. It was good at the time. There's pros and cons. And then eventually I had enough of working with him and thought, I'm going to do my own thing, make my own business.
Got sacked.
Yeah, I actually got sacked.
Did you get sacked by your dad?
No. I thought I've had enough. You always used to treat you different and what have you. So, but anyway, let's give it a go myself. I'm not one to shy away from a challenge, so I hit it pretty hard. Within, I think, about 2 months, I took on my first lad, which I still have now. He laboured for me for about a year. And then he started doing his own stuff, tiling for me, doing his bits and bobs. And then just grew the team over years. And I have four full-time subcontractors, and then 2 that I call upon if and when I need it. So
wicked.
Yeah, so I've probably been going, 5-6 years now, and grew it in that.
So actually, you're a youngster thinking about it, how old are you?
26.
My eldest son's birthday today, and he's 29. Right, okay, so brilliant. So you've only really had 2 jobs, one working for your dad.
Yeah. I was a personal trainer. I'm a fully qualified personal trainer. Okay. So I was doing that initially alongside working with my dad to buy my house. So I was using that as, say, pocket money, and then the money I was getting in the day, that was getting saved, and that was going towards a house. So I've always been mega busy. Basically.
So did you not want to go down the personal trainer route then?
I did. I loved it. But the more I was doing it, I was falling out of love with the industry and training myself. The more I was in and around that sort of that area, it was almost getting a bit tedious for myself. And to be honest, it's a crowded market. It's an overpopulated market. Everyone wants to do it. Everyone wants to, be on Instagram and show their body and what have you. And actually, to be honest, it wasn't a bit of me. long term, tiling was probably better for me. That was something I was probably more passionate about. So that's the way I went.
Do a tiling calendar, couldn't you?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
We could sue. Yeah, you'll be there, wouldn't you? You'll be there for that shoot. Yeah.
I wouldn't want to show my body on Instagram.
Yeah.
No.
Let's get a tiny mosaic and that should do it, shouldn't it?
Cloth for this. And you was into a bit of fighting, and you was thinking about doing something.
Yeah. So I'd done boxing from young, so I'd done that for 5-6 years. And then done MMA for about a year and a half. And then, I was going to go for an MMA fight. To be honest, just too busy. And what I didn't want to do is commit.
Scared.
Yeah. Actually, I was
That's the easiest cop out. The easiest cop out.
No,
It was a bit scared.
I was too busy. And what I didn't want to do is commit to the fight, end up not training properly, jumping in there and just making myself look.
On your walk on, you could just be tiling the floor.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. 2 in 1.
Right.
So,
anything else from you, do you reckon?
no, that's a brief background.
Had a good childhood? Do you got any horrible stories you can
No,
tell us just to
not
spice
really.
this up, no?
No.
He's still a child, that's the thing.
Yeah.
He's still in the middle of his childhood.
Yeah.
Where have you done? You've done some decent places. Well, I say decent places. You've done Arsenal's place, haven't you?
Yeah, I've done the Emirates Stadium. I've done like the private boxes in there.
No.
Not all of them, but I think it's 2 of them interlocking. Where have I done? I've done a few sort of private areas in terms of like, got Farnborough Park up in Orpington. I think Rio Ferdinand lives there.
All right.
Something like that. Where have I done? Restaurants, Moomoo's, literally have tiled the whole place now.
Nice. Oh, that means he's
Yeah,
picked up the tiles that I've puked on.
yeah, that's it. Removed them, reinstalled them, waiting for your arrival. So, yeah, no, I've done a pretty nice place.
Right, didn't you, for Momo? Actually, didn't I? Yeah, me and you in Momo's. We had a little moment in Momo's. We had a moment where you told me, Simon.
I sat on your lap, didn't I?
We was at her boyfriend's. I don't know why we were talking about this. But we was at her boyfriend's party, and I was with someone else. She was with her boyfriend, obviously. And I used to always flirt with you, didn't I, for a laugh. You're too happy for me, so I thought, I'm not going to go out.
And then, and then I sat on your lap. You dragged me and sat me on your lap and went, to probably annoy my boyfriend.
Yeah, I did it because it used to wind up.
And so I sat on your lap and I went, you do know nothing is ever going to happen between us. And you went, I know.
And then I chatted up with Mum.
You did chat up my mum, yeah.
Yeah.
You did. Oh,
So
definitely.
definitely marrying you now. I now met your mum. Did that. And then a couple, 3 years later, I've gone to a birthday party. And, do you know Simon? Yeah, he's the one that said, come back to bite me, that one. Yeah.
The rest was history.
Yeah, the rest was history. Yeah, she couldn't resist, and she's only human.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to that. Somehow.
Was there any jobs that you think were harder than others, or any jobs that you, when you get them, you think, this is going to be a real pain in the arse, or something like that? Or
Each job is hard in its own way. There's jobs, go back to Moomus as an example. So the most recent work we've done there, it was about 50 metres squared of mosaic flooring. So it was all the Victorian style mosaics. But with that was a whole new task in itself, because what we was up against was an unlevel floor, drains, different heights. It's commercial graded, so it's got to be right, basically.
Yeah.
That was challenging. But then equally, we'd come up against, I don't know, like a bathroom, for instance, but they'll have niches in, they'll have LED lighting, they'll have freestanding baths. So everything's got to be bang on. And when you walk into a house, what's the first thing you tend to look at? If let's say I have a hallway tiled floor, I know what you're thinking.
Rachel's ceiling.
Yeah.
Sorry.
If you have a tiled floor and a tiled kitchen, when you walk in, you're going to be looking at the kitchen island, probably in the floor tiling.
Slight bias there. Whenever we go anywhere, it's you see the tiles in the bathroom.
Yeah. I
didn't really. But
Is he looking at this lino?
Yeah.
Just so you know, this was here when we came here. We haven't done anything really, have we? Repaired the ceiling. Right. Yeah. Because we only need the backdrops, don't we? We don't really need the walls that are there. So yeah, it's all right. Perfect for what we need it for. Yeah.
That was the job.
Yeah.
so have you ever had to do like really intricate designs or something like that when people want like
Yeah. You say like requests that you get that people ask. It's just phenomenal. It's some people want like the Victorian style, but you get two or three different types. So you get like 300 by 300 squares. That's got the pattern on it. And then you've got like your mosaics, challenging in itself, but they're workable. And then you've got like traditional Victorian tiles. They come in triangles, they come in mini triangles, they come in squares, small squares, rectangles, pencil strips. And you've basically got to make a pattern and make a style to suit the room. You've got to have the consistent border running around the outside and then infill the border. It is time consuming. Like you would probably spend a day to 2 days just setting out, getting the prep right to make sure that the job comes out decent.
Have you ever had like any weird requests that I've seen on?
I've had plenty of them.
As people come to you with pictures, like family pictures, and say, "Can you do that?"
Pinterest. I hate it.
Oh.
Pinterest. Everyone comes to me and says, "Can you do this?" I say, "I can, but it's going to cost money." And
that's because it's a lot of different colours.
Yeah,
a lot of different colours and stuff. And all.
It's just people have just ridiculous ideas. They come to me with, can you make a house out of tiles? It just doesn't work. A lot of the time, I don't like to say no, but I like to think we can make the majority of things work within reason. But yeah, we've had some silly ones.
You ever done repairs? I think I see something on the internet today, which I've seen before, repairs. Where that geezer's got a cracked in the corner and he's done a big circle and he's turned it into like a nautical type mosaic in the middle. Yeah, it came out quite well.
So repairs, everyone thinks you can go into a property and go, right, I've got a chip tile, let's have it off, let's stick it back on.
Just like that hard.
Just in the window,
Yeah. Window pane out, window pane. It never works.
No, it doesn't. No.
Never. So again, there's prep involved with that. I mean, let's for instance say we take that tile out. To get that out, if they've been on there a while, without affecting this one, this one, it's next to impossible. And then you've got to get the right tile, the exact tile, and then they're different batches, so they're ever so slightly different on size. And then you have an extra 2 mil to work with, and then you've got different colours, and it's just, you're trying to polish a turd, right? And it's don't work.
Nice saying, isn't it? Yeah, but you've brushed up quite well now. So
how long does it take you if you were doing a typical job with no fancy stuff? How long would it take?
It's all about the size of the room in it and stuff.
Yeah,
it's all about
size of the room. Not even that.
Yeah, I mean,
weird question.
To be honest, like if I've got a nice kitchen floor, it's flat, it's level, I will literally do 30 to 40 meters in a day. But then in a bathroom, I'd say a conventional bathroom's about 20-ish meters squared. If I've got, let's say, a window and a door in there, you're talking 2 days, day and a half. It's usually a day tiling, and I'll send one of the others back following day, grout and do cuts or something like that. So it totally varies again, to be honest. There's no real sort of set time on things, just to whatever the job needs, basically, to get it right.
Whether any job goes completely wrong and you've had to rectify it, or the person before that laid it has...
I've never done anything that's been done completely wrong. Yeah, touch it. Yeah, I mean, I've had to cover people like a lot. You walk into some jobs and it's just an absolute disaster. And then they charge ridiculous money for it as well. So yeah, well, I mean, we've covered a load of people's shit up basically. And the client comes out all right at the end.
Yeah.
A bit lighter in the pocket, but they pay for it twice. But yeah, it looks decent, looks good.
I think what's quite interesting about what you do is you're managing that client's expectation. Like they'll have an idea in their head of what they want, particularly with like domestic stuff. Yeah. And it's up to you to extract that and put together what they want. I think that can probably be quite hard because they know what they want. But they can see it in their head, but they don't know how to.
Yeah. And then what always amazes me is I'll tile half a bathroom or half a kitchen, and then they love to come in and remind me that tile isn't stuck, or are you going to stick that one? Then yes, I'm going to finish it. Like, I'm just going to leave that one there, or that one needs to be cut.
See, then I go, right, don't win it like that. That's what I'd say.
Yeah. I say, oh no, I forgot about that one. But, thanks for reminding me time and time again. But I'm pretty sure I'm on it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, the watchers. No one likes a watcher. We don't like the watchers.
No, you mean.
No, you get a lot of it.
Right, so moving on to you then, mate. I think.
Me, my turn.
You gorgeous thing.
So how did you two meet?
Yes, okay, that's what I was saying. But no, you can go for it. That's fine.
I thought you were going to go into...
No, go on, you do it. So how did you two meet? I'm touching his knee. You know?
Yeah. That's it.
Hence why I didn't.
Yeah, that's why you're laying it over.
We've known each other, what, 7, 8 years?
Yeah.
When he was in preschool then?
maybe more, to be fair, yeah.
Yeah, what, we met through friends of friends? Mutual friends.
Yeah, friends of
going
friends,
out.
and then...
Similar age? You a little bit older?
I'm 29. What's 3 years between us?
Yeah.
He could be your son.
Thanks for that. Probably it. Right, 29. My son's 29 today. I've said that already, no? I'm sorry.
Yeah, so...
Right, sorry, carry on. Yeah, you met about 7 years ago.
Yeah, and...
Just friends of friends.
Yeah, both very young. I think you were when I met you, you was in your personal training era.
Yeah.
So
for a funny phase.
Yeah,
I was
he's going through that phase when.
Yeah.
So you was just personal training, nothing else.
No. So I was doing.
Full-time.
Yeah. I was doing.
Because you did say that actually. Yeah.
Yeah. I was doing it.
And what were you doing? What did you start off doing? Did you go to uni?
So I left school. I had a stab at sixth form. Got kicked out.
Okay.
And
you from this area?
Yeah.
From this area?
Yeah.
That's news to me.
Where'd you go?
I went to Rain and Mark School.
Yeah, Rain and Mark, yeah.
And
she's the same age, is it?
She is the same age.
Binny Clarenbold? No.
Yes, we were.
Oh, what's Binny? Sorry, what school did you go to?
Maplestone. So I'm Maidstone.
Okay. Moving on, don't know that one. Right, okay. Rain and Mark, yeah. Sixth form.
Went to sixth form. Didn't really... I'd say I did okay in school, but I never really enjoyed it.
Right.
And I was kind of glad to see the back of it. And I went to college. I think at that point, I decided I wanted to work in construction for all my sins. And at the time, it was... I always look back on it, it's quite funny because my dad works in construction. He's got a decorating business.
Okay.
He's done it all his life. And I think...
You didn't want to go into business.
Well, yeah, I'd done a few weeks' work with Dad when I was...
Fancy putting the overalls on.
No, yeah, I didn't fancy putting the apron on.
And mess his hair up, wasn't it? Yeah. And that white top, that won't survive, will it?
That's why he uses it.
Yeah, it won't survive that. Has he got matching trousers for that?
Yeah, linen.
Dungarees.
Linen twins.
No, we're bringing him the Oh, sorry, yeah. So, yeah, you didn't want to do that with your dad?
No, and...
would he be just as honest as Ellis's dad? Because families are honest, aren't they?
He says I'm a shit painter, so...
There you go.
Yeah.
She's a cold fat.
Hey, sir.
That's okay. That's selling us, isn't it, mate?
Yeah. Well done.
But you're too honest with your own, aren't you? That's the thing. You're too honest with your family.
Yeah.
And is that the problem you had with your dad?
I think my dad, he didn't want me to go as that.
Okay.
And funnily enough, I think Mum and Dad have certainly done okay, but I think business has been up and down for Dad over the past 20, 30 years. It's had its high and lows. Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite literally, yeah. Some ceilings are higher than others.
Yeah. Sorry, mate. We're trying to get serious here. This is where you tell me he's passed away. Or
Yeah, actually.
Aliens.
No, thank God for that. Once I've got to edit something, I don't want to edit it.
And he
didn't want you to go through the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. And Mum and Dad always said, they were like, oh, don't get into construction. Can't you do something? You know, maybe they thought I was going to be like a lawyer or a doctor or something to be proud of. But
well, you've got a white coat on.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, got into construction, went to college. Was fortunate enough to land a job as well, working for a developer in London, called Commercial Estates Group. And it was one of their subsidiaries who was specialising in high-end residential. And they were building a bespoke home new build in Kensington, which the build cost alone, the contract, was 28 million.
Right.
So it was an amazing first project to be on. And that was during me going to college. So I'd go to college 2 days a week in my first year. And then I'd go to work up in London 3 days a week. And then that, in years 2 and 3, that went down to 1 day. So I was up pretty much on site every day. And I just used that time to absorb and watch and learn and try and learn everything I could about construction. I don't think you stop learning, but that was such an insight for me. And then I was an assistant project manager there, so I was very operational, overseeing kind of the construction. But then I took the decision that I wanted to become a surveyor. So work more in the commercial side of construction. So managing budgets, managing subcontractors, payments, very much I guess you'd call it
project engineer type thing.
Yeah.
Project role.
Yeah, managing the finances or the budget on a construction project. So I did a complete U-turn and I worked for a civil engineering contractor in Kent. And then throughout the years, I moved to a few different companies in sort of London, concrete frame contractors. I worked my way up to like a senior surveyor.
Right.
Studied along the way as well. Did a level 7 MVQ in project management. Become a member of the Chartered Institute.
Gets the list out.
Yeah.
Here we go. What's the 7 level 6?
My CV.
Masters in this.
You just work your way.
And I just shrink into the...
So what did you end up with? Master?
Well, I've ended up with a level 7 in project management, and that enabled me to become, or fast track to a member of the Chartered Institute of Builders.
Okay.
I then set
Got
up...
letters after your name then.
Yeah, I'm called a lot of things, but...
If you're in an institute, you should have letters after.
yeah, you can.
Because I have as well. I think,
NCIB.
Mechanical engineering.
Yeah.
Make sure you haven't. Yeah, BOC or whatever it is.
BA Honours.
BA on.
Yeah.
VOC, ain't that a gas? Or something? Yeah, probably. It's a gas, isn't it? You can.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's got that as well. Oh, brilliant! So now you've got your own business.
Yeah, so I set up on my own.
What's it called again? I don't think you said it on camera. I think you told me afterwards.
Yeah,
before.
Well, I called the company J McCormac Consulting.
Right.
I set up in 2017, and just went freelance and started doing what I was doing on a freelance basis. So working for a few contractors, providing project support, quantity surveying services, and kind of grew my business from there, and worked for a whole different range of firms and clients, helping from or supporting projects from like domestic new builds, extensions, right the way through to, I think the biggest project I've worked on was about 40 million for some of the sort of tier 1 builders in the UK. So a massive range of projects and loads of different companies that I've worked for. So I've seen kind of their processes and how they work. And all the way through there, I think the goal was to start a construction business of my own.
So you started this in 2017. So how did, obviously you were almost a baby when COVID, how did that affect your, because this was like a new business.
Almost a baby.
Well, the company was, it was only 2-3 years old when COVID hit.
Yeah.
So I suppose it just knocked you, did it? Or...
Yeah, well, kind of. It's quite fortunate really in that I think this is why I use the consulting business or the project management business as a stepping stone, because it's quite lean. It's me. I don't really have any staff. I do have people that I rely upon to sometimes outsource a bit of work to. But it's with construction companies. The thing with construction is the outlay is so high, and you're always paid in arrears, typically on a building contract. So, if you're building let's say a £2 or £3 million contract, your outlay is going to be, well, 2 or 3 million less your profit. So, and you're going to be outlaying that and paid maybe 14, 30, 45 days in arrears. So I think a lot of construction companies suffered, particularly when COVID hit, because if clients lost their funding or clients ran out of money, then all these construction companies that weren't getting paid, in some instances, and it still happens now, and I think it's always happened. But I think it was last month alone in the UK, I don't know the exact stat, I want to say 15. I think 15 construction companies went into liquidation in the UK. So yeah, it's quite a high risk industry.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I think COVID was a big turning point for the construction industry in itself, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it was particularly interesting how projects got delayed because then I think people were pointing the finger, but it was almost no one's fault, really. It was what they call in contracts force majeure, but it was quite interesting times actually because.
It was.
I suppose you weren't allowed to go into anyone's houses to tile or do.
No. So in all fairness, luckily at that point, I had a project which was running, and it was an exterior project. So I was doing the 20 mil outside porcelains, which was perfect because I was able to still go to work. I think throughout the whole process, I think maybe I had like a week or two up in total. So I was actually okay. Again, we'll touch the wood, but. Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people which they couldn't go to work. They suffered quite hard through the COVID.
We're pretty lucky, weren't we?
Well, a few months before,
I was considering leaving an engineering job that I've had for 30 years.
Yeah,
doing it full time.
Because I've always been one of those ones that I want to be in a job where you can't get rid of it. So I was in a toilet roll manufacturing industry since I was 16. Yeah. And you can't get an app to wipe your ass. That's the way I look. Right? Which you can't.
You might be. I would say, like, in about 20 years' time.
I ain't using your phone in future. And the other thing is we film weddings. And no matter, I've been through loads of recessions filming weddings and people still get married regardless.
Yeah.
And so I thought, I'm going to jack in the engineering and just go full on wedding.
Yeah.
And about 2 months before, I was thinking this, really considering it. I said, nothing stops weddings. And then it stopped weddings big time. Big time, didn't it? It was bad. And what did we do? A couple of weddings. There was a couple that got married still in lockdown.
Yeah, that was the December. So I think it was.
Yeah, just out, wasn't it?
I think it was the point where we'd come out of lockdown, we had the summer, and then we were going back into lockdown for Christmas. And then Boris was saying, "Oh, you're not allowed to do this, you're not allowed to do that, you're not allowed to see your family." So I think he reduced it to 10 people at a wedding, and I think they couldn't decide what 10 people to invite. They invited no one. Yeah. They said it's just us two getting married, and you guys can be our witnesses.
Yeah, we'd be the witnesses.
So we should.
Four of us there. Yeah. Four of us there. Plus the
how did that work? So obviously, you wasn't allowed to. You when you was allowed to get married, would you count as part of them 10 people?
Yes.
So you've got to be included in. Yeah. So
I don't think the venue staff.
That's in the registrar venue.
Yeah, but I think if you were with the bride and groom, you would have to be.
You know, in and out of lockdown, we were filming bridesmaids walking down the aisle with matching masks on to their dresses and stuff. Yeah. It's a mental time.
Yes, man. When you look at those photos in like 20 years' time, you just
what is going on?
If you're some good at Photoshop.
Yeah. That's it, yeah.
Have you still got that go full time?
It's
something you're steering at?
Yeah. That is really not. It's knocked us in a way, thinking actually something can stop this.
Yeah.
You know, but I've been there so long that I'd rather just see it out now.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in a position where I'm hardly working now. It's like semi-retirement. So I can literally do this full time, can't I? And do that at the same time.
Yeah, so you get best time for it.
Yeah, basically. And Rachel, you're in NHS, aren't you? So
obviously in COVID, the weddings went down, but obviously one like that as well. So I had to still go to work and still do all that side of it as well.
The other thing is the company that make the toilet rolls, because everyone's panic buying, weren't they? Toilet rolls.
Yeah.
They asked me to film. So
you two were in like the busiest industry.
I was filming.
Bog roll filming.
They got on Sky News and everything. What I shot to say stop panic buying.
Yeah.
And all that. Yeah. So I earned from it anyway.
I was going to say it didn't turn out too bad then.
And I wrote the comedy. I used that time with no weddings to write the comedy.
Yeah. Nice.
So, yeah.
You were nice to time well.
You got it.
Yeah.
I mean,
everyone was like in the garden, like sunbathing and having their time off, and like, I want to go back to work. We were exhausted.
Simon's there in the trenches with his hat on and the camera on his shoulder.
Bog roller on his head. Where we could film maximum something like 8 people outside.
That was
so we shot the outside scenes in November.
Yeah.
We shot the rest out of in between lockdown, wasn't it? The rest.
Yeah, it was in between. I think it was we got out of Christmas, then we were allowed to do something. So we got as much as we could. Then we went into another lockdown. So
it was a night. We're COVID testing people and everything when this gone. It was a night.
Have people come in. I think Ricky Groves came in, didn't he, to do his bit? And I had to COVID test him and went, I'm really sorry, I've never met you. I know who you are. He was like, no. And he was like, oh, sure, don't worry.
And they were awful as well, weren't they? They were awful.
Yeah. I got really good at it in the end, though.
Yeah.
I could literally get that sticker all the way up my over, the back of my head. One's that long. I was sitting to that much left over.
Out of the mouth. In the nose.
Honestly, it's unreal.
Spaghetti.
It's like a jackass. Wasn't it?
Oh, it was disgusting.
It was disgusting, but never mind. Go on.
Yeah, I was going to say, we managed it all right, didn't we?
Yeah, we got through it, didn't we? Got through it.
But going full time with this.
But we were blessed in a way. We had backup roles, didn't we? So not everyone was. So we were lucky, you know.
And then in COVID, we did actually stop advertising a little bit, didn't we? Of the wedding life bit,
because we had 2 jobs, we got friends. Even competitors are friends of ours. Because if you're in the wedding industry and you wake up feeling really rough, or you get COVID, you got to call on someone to cover you.
Yeah, you got to have a backup.
So, and some of our mates, that's just their only role, and they were struggling. So we made a cautious decision, conscious decision, to just stop advertising, just so everyone else could get the extra advertising. Whether it worked or not, I don't know, but that's all we could do.
The person you are, innit?
Well, that's just us for anyway.
Or it was I couldn't be asked.
Yeah, maybe. I'm too busy writing the comedy.
Yeah, I'll give this one an LB.
I want to tell them the way to... Let's make out. Doing this with the elders. Yeah. Right. So now what are you combined again? What's your company combined?
So we are McCormac and Rose now. McCormac and Rose Construction.
Okay.
Where did you get the name?
McCormac.
It's quite a unique one.
Massive, I know. Yeah. So no, we've joined forces.
Started in August?
Yeah.
August this year. And the intention was like my background of being in sort of commercial and surveying on big construction projects and sort of having a good knowledge of civil engineering and large scale construction. Ellis is equipped with Tyler.
Tyler search bouncer. Perfect. Someone's got to keep an eye on the gear on site.
Yeah, that's it.
You're more operational, hands-on.
Yeah.
Knows about fit out. Knows about, how to finish a project.
Second fix.
Whereas there's like gaps in my knowledge of that. Like at the end of the day, I'm a bit spreadsheets and kind of numbers.
Love a spreadsheet.
To be honest, that's where I draw the line at that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I often send texts to you and you correct me on grammar.
Oh mate, you have a field day about that.
Yeah.
Field day.
But it's all from all the construction companies I've worked with, I've always seen that there's been a good commercial lead and a good operational lead running that company at the top of it.
Mm.
And we said this, we talked about it for best part of a year plus.
Yeah, so you've known each other for 6 years. Have you been quite close that whole time then, or did you bump into each other at a party and then
so, but...
Yeah, he's all right.
Was this over pillar talk? Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
We woke up one day.
This is where we're in now.
It's very
What do you think it was, Jesus? Have I gone to heaven? Yeah, that's a shoe, Callum.
Inside the jacket.
Go down there. That's not a building company.
It's going to leave the studio and just in that, rip it out. No, I'm not having that anymore. But sorry. To be honest, so we kept in touch quite a bit, and
I think it's the gym. We've trained together for 4 years, maybe.
Yeah.
So we see each other most days.
But to be honest, I think we was always a little bit different from the rest of them in terms of motivation, and everyone else was kind of idle. They're flatlined. They were quite happy with doing what they were doing. We were both the same. We just want to grow. We want to grow, and we are going to grow. It's a matter of time. But yeah, we've always wanted more. I mean, the amount of business ideas we throw to each other is just ridiculous. It's just this stupid stuff. But, we believe we can make majority of things work. So yeah, and then the construction thing was something we was touching on for a long time. And then I think we just thought, we'll just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just set it up. and then we'll start looking at projects, seeing what we can get. The one that we've got, that falls into our laps.
Yeah.
It fell into our laps well, didn't it?
Yeah.
We took that over.
So literally when we set up, got our first project, which again wasn't, I think we'll talk about it in the future as our first project, but it's not the most glamorous, is it? It was a job that was half started, had gone a bit wrong. We took it over, took the reins on it, pretty much got it to completion now.
Yeah.
We just got carpets going down.
No tiles in, you don't want to ruin it.
No, go on. I don't know.
Can't buy any good tires, no.
It didn't hit the chicken though, did it? I put chicken there.
No.
I don't know what time it is. We'll work that out later. But I reckon you two are well late on that whole time.
Yeah. I'd say so.
Yeah. Harper's close. That's because I didn't put proper tape on.
Yeah.
But he's
I
quite
think that's favouritism then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Look, he's a financial advisor. Why am I doing
Right.
Because I told him I give £100 to charity. He said, how does that benefit me?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely a financial advisor. Oh, all right, charity your choice. He went, oh, right.
Yeah.
I know he wants 100 quid for himself.
Yeah, exactly.
He's Harper. Yeah.
But every idea, I mean, with regards to your project as being the first project, you've almost had to go in and make that your shining star, haven't you? To say that this is what we can do. This is what it did. This is what it was, and this is what we actually can do.
Yeah.
So it's quite good in a way.
To be honest, it's been a bit of a rough ride because I think you'd agree in saying we've restored the client's faith in construction and builders. He's been scarred, and the way we approached it and the way we've treated the project is totally restored his faith in it. He said that himself when we've had site meetings, he's come there, progress meetings. He said himself, actually, you've literally restored my faith in builders. But yeah, in a sense that we've had to, again, use the phrase polish a turd, if you like, but we have totally transformed that. And yeah, like you say, we can in the future look back on that and it's something to be proud of, I think, definitely. But in the background, we're working in sort of every way we can to try and get that next project.
Because you do get a bad rep sometimes, don't you?
I think it's very easy to get a bad rep.
Because there's a lot of them out there that deserve a bad rep, unfortunately. But I know Ellis and I know our... sorry, I'm just turning my phone off. No. I've got to because it made a noise and he stared at me like, that's really unprofessional. And he was right.
A nude.
It's Rachel, yeah. It's her OnlyFans page. Get a lot. OnlyFans, yeah.
Yes, so that's inside it.
Let's scrub at OnlyFans.com. Right, sorry, where am I going? What was we even talking about? Yeah, but I know you, and I know you're going to do well with it because I know your personality. This geezer looks very similar to someone we know.
Bit shady, this one.
A surveyor. When we met them, they had a small semi-detached house. We were Mike.
Oh, yeah.
And now, really successful business where they're building homes all over Kent. You probably know I'm on about as well. But I think you two are going to do well. Honestly, do.
I think it's a mentality thing for us.
Definitely.
We've always been the same. We've always sort of buzzed off each other in terms of where we're going and what we're going to do. It sounds ridiculous. We know we are gonna go big and we are gonna do well. It is just a matter of time. We say it every day. We're so frustrated because we almost feel like we're just hitting against the wall. But once that wall comes down, we're good. We're gonna.
I think we've seen as well that it sounds really silly, and we both had our own business. But to start a business, do a project, get revenue in, and get paid, like it's a really satisfying process.
100%.
Yeah, you can almost see that's so scalable and
and all the client want is honesty. You'll hit a wall as long as you tell them you've hit that wall. That's all they want to know. That's all they want to know.
So we sort of pride ourselves on, if we're working very closely with a client, if anything we come across or we come up against, we will call a meeting, we'll call a site meeting, we'll get them down there and we'll explain the situation, explain what's the best scenario and the outcome. Everyone knows what needs to be done. and then we can have a discussion on it. The worst thing people can do is just go, okay, yeah, that needs doing, let's do it. Let's slap them with a huge bill.
They just want to be kept in the loop. Like that. All they want to be done is kept in the loop.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Exactly that. Yeah.
Too many builders are just going, yeah, it's going fine, fine, when it's really falling from under them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So would you say one of you was the idea thinker
Giver.
and the other one giver?
Yeah.
And the other one was the sort of plan it out sort of thing? Or you both sort of bouncing off
conflicting
each other?
personality. Well, not conflicting personalities. Two different personalities that deal with it.
I think different skill sets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hopefully
both with the same direction, going in the same direction.
Yeah.
Goal.
So
Yeah, I think I'm probably a little bit more jump at it quick, let's get it done. Whereas Cal's probably a little bit more, laid back and actually let's think this through and do it the right way, not just a rash decision. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, it's a brilliant mix of both, right? Because you get, sometimes the quick decisions need to happen. They need to, happen quick, and you need to make that decision, and it does pay off. But other times,
you got
how often,
logic.
Yeah, often reminds me actually, let's think about this and let's do it in a logical way. But the mix of both, I think, works really well within the right scenarios.
Yeah, we're similar.
Sure.
You've got to finish something as well.
Yeah.
I can't. I've been in an industry. I've been in.
Yeah, we saw that first year when I was just left.
I've been in an industry, you bunch of piss takers, where you set goals, you set KPIs.
Yeah.
And if you're set a different goal the next year, you just abandon what's half done. And I always struggle with that. I had to finish a project. I've
got to get it done, right?
£25 million sort of effluent plant sort of projects in the past. But I know people that are like, that isn't my goal this year. My boss has given me this then.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't bear it.
Couldn't bear it.
Stuff gets half done,
Yeah,
you've got to see it through. You've got to see it
Definitely.
through. Yeah.
So where do you guys see yourselves like in 10 years' time then?
Well, that's a good question.
Separately?
I always answer that with like, not caution, but I feel like you can only answer to like the best of your ability because you don't know where you'll be in 10 years.
Have you given yourself a 5-year plan?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the first year, like to turn over £1 million. And I think the end goal is to grow a business up to around a 20 million turnover in construction, which I think is a nice size.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of companies that go beyond that and they sort of lose control. And
yeah,
I think that's a turning point. But if you can stay quite modest and stay around there and be satisfied, I think it's profitable.
And it's that ability to get the right talent around you as well.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
We're very keen on building the right team around us. And we will, I mean, already, like, you know people from your background, I know people from my background. And it's only people that we'll use in our own houses, right? So we've combined that now. And the team that we have got, they all work really well together. They gel, they work good on site. And it's not the case of, I mean, several times we've come up against it where you'll have someone working, but they don't care about the next trade that are coming in. So they'll just leave mess lying around, they'll cut holes in walls, and someone then comes in, throws the toys out the pram. It doesn't work like that. And we literally, we're almost quite strict with it in the respect that we just don't have it because it just doesn't work. It doesn't work for them, it doesn't work for us, it doesn't work for anyone.
And those trades that we take on, those subcontractors, the intention is to grow with them.
Yeah, 100%.
I think all the successful businesses have grown together.
Yeah,
because you don't want to leave those behind. You grow, and then you're trying to take on bigger companies. You don't have a relationship with them. You don't know
We've got to grow together.
Yeah.
So what's your goal? Start making, to end up making housing estates and things like that? Or is that what you're looking at?
Yeah, I mean, yes. Right, bigger the better for us. Really.
I think at the moment we're quite open-minded. We don't have a niche. Like, we're not focusing on central London fit out. We're not focusing on house building. We're not focusing on refurbs.
Listen and
we're just kind of, I think whatever comes along, we'll find our niche. So I'd say we're quite open-minded.
Yeah.
We don't have a niche, and we're both quite diverse in skill set, and as is our supply chain. So whatever comes, I'm sure we'll build those relationships with clients, and they'll almost take us on a journey as well, hopefully.
Yeah.
So you two have never had sort of conflict in the past, so you can sort of hopefully bring that forward as well and think that if there is ever conflict between you two, you can sit down and just have a mutual discussion about it, or...
I don't think we've ever fed out or had conflict, have we? I think I think we work.
Can we film it if you do?
Yeah, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Most good to us.
Oh,
Yeah, that would turn red. No, I think we're. Again, that's why we work quite well in the respect that there doesn't need to be conflict there. I'm probably the hot-headed one, but actually, he almost makes it impossible to be hot-headed too because he's just so calm. So
Sorry to let anyone.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But I think as you get older as well, there's just no need for it. So you learn the right way to deal with things and to talk it through.
I think particularly in our game, there's a lot of egos.
Yeah.
And people cut their nose off to spite their face.
Yeah.
And I've heard so many people, fuck him.
Yeah.
And you say, oh, what's wrong? And, he pissed me off. And,
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, it's like,
when you actually scale back the issue, they look at it themselves and go, what is that? So we end up being sort of counsellors. Well,
I mean, what if you think of a lot of builders are builders because their dad were builders.
Yeah.
And they've just started a business with no business skill whatsoever.
Right, yeah.
So that in a way, they're still that kid that worked with their dad, unfortunately. And it's not the only places like that,
Yeah.
My pathetic sense of humour is because I've been brought up in the paper industry since I was 16, and
God, some of the stuff
it's wicked.
like, you won't get away with it today.
Oh, what? Yeah,
They shaved your
I finished my apprenticeship. I never sort of winced or anything. I just wasn't bothered. I thought that was the best way to deal
What
with
has
it.
been included.
I used to have a ball and chain. I did a whole 8 hours with a ball and chain around my ankle once. And while they were hosing me down, I was in what's called a breast roll, which is a roll that's probably that sort of diameter, metre diameter. You had to crawl all the way up it, and it was 5 metres long. You had to change a heavy bearing inside it. When you're 16, you can barely hold this bearing. While I was doing that, this roll's got loads of holes in it. They had a hose dripping on me while I was doing it, and I had a ball and chain on. And I thought they'd take it off. No, I went home in it, came back, they took it off the next day. Came out my time, they shaved my hair, because I used to take the mickey out of this bald bloke, so they gave me exactly the same hair.
Your mum went mad when it came over.
It was funny though. It just didn't bother me.
Maybe we should start doing that.
Those are the days.
doing another
Go and shave.
What happened? We shaved each other's heads for a laugh.
Someone said it was funny, so...
Welcome to the company.
And you've lost all them characters, do you know what I mean? There's nothing like that anymore. It got to the point where it obviously you couldn't really... It was, I suppose, for some people quite soul destroying, so... I suppose
you could take it one or two ways.
that's the right reason. Obviously, it ain't affected me, and it's much. But yeah, so... It's the way it is, isn't it? Old school in our age. Old school.
He says wearing an NFL jacket. Shoulder pads.
Still breathing in.
As soon as the camera goes off, you're going to go, oh.
So I know you've got a wife and kids. I've met your lovely wife.
Yes.
Had the privilege of meeting me, obviously. I've shot the, what did we shoot? Baby shower. I shot the baby shower, didn't I?
Yeah, the baby shower,
You asked me to do your wedding. Unfortunately, I wasn't available. Gutted. Savoy it was. Savoy.
Did you
Was you there?
I was there.
Your best man or?
Second best.
What do you call it?
Have I created the row?
What do you...
No, I was the best man.
Yeah,
Was he singing? Russia was actually singing there.
Yeah, they were all there, all the stars. But what do you call... I can't remember. Groomsman.
Bridesmaid?
Well, there's no such thing as groomsman. Groomsman is the best man and the ushers. So you just gave him a suit and said, you're a groomsman.
Yeah, and I'm lucky for me, I had about 5 there. So.
I love the way he gets golden green. Collectively,
You would just be groomsman.
right, so aren't they? Collectively, they're groomsmen, aren't they? I thought we shove a suit on one and go, you're good. Yeah.
You're groomsman's best man, then groomsman.
Groomsmen are like the ushers.
Yeah.
I thought it was like bride, maid of honour, bridesmaids.
We just class them as bridesmaids, and then if they're...
You can have a maid of honour. Maid of honour is usually like the sister who's already married.
Yeah, I got you.
Like chief bridesmaid is maid of honour, isn't it? Really. But groomsmen.
He was a big part of it. Put it that way.
Was you pointing the seats? This side.
No, that was
Just literally.
He sat in the seat.
You never had a suit, wouldn't you?
It's just a title.
Are you married and you got children or anything?
No, I'm the immature.
Do you want to be?
Actually.
Oh.
Yeah, I do.
Right,
It's funny because Ellis is younger than me, but I feel like he's about 10 years older than me.
Really?
I've done it all quite early in comparison to the people around us, if you like.
Good. And you're still getting up stupid o'clock to go to the gym in the mornings. What time do you get up for the gym?
We're there at between 5:15 and 5:30 every morning.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, so we'll get up at 5:45, 5 o'clock.
Okay, let's talk about a bit of fitness. So do you eat before you start training in the morning?
No,
Or do you one of those ones that just has a coffee and then you're on it?
We have our morning meetings.
I think most important about the morning gym is we have a morning meeting.
It's brilliant. Morning meetings, catch up.
While you're exercising?
No. So we'll sit at the coffee bar, won't we? Yeah. We'll have our morning meetings.
Your gym's got a coffee bar.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Look at the size of him. He don't do this. He don't go to it. Where'd you go?
Rochester Health Club.
Oh,
Used to be Moores.
hi.
Not a clue where that is.
Is that near the cinema?
No, it's
Oh, no,
near,
no.
near Rochester Airport.
Oh, really? Up that way? I never knew there was one up there.
Yeah, so it's good. It's got a swimming pool and all the gym and stuff.
We used the one over the road. I love it over there, though. It's all right. It's cheap and all.
Yeah.
Look what good job it's done as well.
Well, it's well.
Yeah, they sell. So, yeah, you have your morning meeting.
Yeah, morning meetings. We catch up on the previous day, won't we?
yeah,
We'll have just a little catch up, really.
talk about
And then
work or whatever. Business.
Why doesn't he just work together though? You just be sitting there going, right, okay.
Yeah, but they don't, because he's in the office doing his Excel sheets and he's the one doing the graph.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's good because we can have that time to catch up. Or it gets you ready. I mean, no one wants to be lifting heavy weights at 5, right? It's early. But yeah, we've got a new program.
Have you?
Program.
What'd you do?
Look at you all keen.
It's a
Write down all I do.
Are you going to take
it's kind of I say hybrid, but he doesn't like that word. The coach doesn't like the word hybrid.
Coach race.
We have a coach. It's like powerlifting and bodybuilding together.
Right, okay.
Oh yeah, we do a bit of both.
And are you on the similar weights?
You want that?
Yeah, honestly. And you've been doing it about the same time? Did you start at the same sort of time, or?
Probably, yeah. I used to hate the gym. I started training when I was 18.
Well, the difference in you, I reckon you hated early mornings as well.
I've got a fun fact actually. I give Cal his first training session.
Oh my God, I was worried then. I thought it was today.
So my dad had the
Cowie's first. He hasn't got kids, but
and he wasn't wearing that jacket.
And I still got it.
He gave me his first training session.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. So my dad had a gym up in the log cabin, back in the garden.
Yeah.
And then you were saying you wanted to get into it. I said, come down. And then you were my first client, if you like, within that industry as well.
Pictures of me all over the internet.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh,
Good. No.
Sorry about
She can leave if she wants to.
Yeah. But yeah, so we love the gym. We hit it pretty hard, don't we?
And you go every day?
When you're done? 6? Half 6? 7?
Between 6 and 7.
Yeah.
I was doing one after 2 hours.
I think the gym is actually runs perfectly in sync with like business and work.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if it's like discipline, work ethic, and all that, and kind of consistency, all those like ethos
Definitely.
we apply to
Personal development as well.
And it's so good for your mental health.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I don't go to the gym, then my work day would be shit.
I was
Yeah.
If I don't go to the gym
Be
for
at the gym much then.
3 or 4 days, I have to wear a long sleeve t-shirt. So I'm not too skinny. Lift loads of weight. Oh dear.
Righto.
Weight on the jumper again.
Picking the eyes off him. Have you got a lot of tattoos like him as well, or you got nothing?
No tattoos. No.
Good lad. Where'd you get your tattoos done? You got a certain
Various
you go to?
places. Yeah, various places. Well, Inkfish 2 in Maidstone. I had a few done there. And then went to Ashford.
Is that little meaning?
Not really.
Oh, really?
No, some of them are. Some of them are. But yeah, no, I've got a few animals.
That's one of Callum now.
Yeah, there he is.
White jacket.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, the tiger.
He's here as well.
The tiger.
There he is. No, yeah, it kind of started meaningful, but then you end up running out of ideas. So you just think, well, that looks good.
Is it just both arms you got them on, or you?
Both arms, chest, and ribs.
No.
Yeah. So no, I've got a few.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to chat about, or you had enough? Anything else you want to cover? How about your websites and all that business? How do you get hold of you?
Yeah.
Get your Excel sheet out. Come on.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I will. Our website is McCormacandRose.co.uk. It's been up and running for about a month now.
Amrit on it.
Yeah.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to have Amrit in.
Yeah,
it's good. It's good.
He's a nice lad. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about Newlook Tiling? You want to give that a plug? You don't?
No.
You got too much work?
Yeah, too much.
Unbelievable.
Sick of it.
Unbelievable.
Sick of it.
Mm.
Yeah. No, you can find us.
But now when the listeners are going to hear that and think, oh no, I ain't going to book him then.
Yeah, I think it's good. He's got a lot of work. Now, we can find us Newlook Tiling Limited on Facebook. We don't actually have a website, but I'll use Facebook to.
Okay. Do you have Instagram and stuff for you boys?
Yes, yeah. It's, again, Newlook Tiling, just on
Newlook Tiling.
Do you have someone do your Instagram and stuff like that? Do you have a social media person, or do you do it personally?
I to be honest, I'm at the point where I'm almost I'm so busy that it would be a whole nother sector for me to add that, because I do genuinely think I could generate a lot of work and a lot of projects from the social media.
But you'll need another employee.
Exactly. Yeah. And then I'll need someone to manage the social media and things like that. Because, I mean, all you see now is on Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram is home renovations, home improvements. Yeah. It's everywhere. Mm-hmm. And you need a couple of good viral videos and photos, and it just goes nuts. Mm. There's other tiling companies out there that I follow and I watch, and they have just gone from silly followers, like nearly none, to thousands and thousands just from doing good videos.
And almost overnight as well.
Literally, almost overnight. But yeah, I'm at the point where I do everything. So I do invoices, quotes, go out to people's houses. I do all of that. I do physical work. I'm on the tools every single day. I manage my guys. I micromanage the ones I send out. And I also try and, obviously, we do the construction as well now.
So do you want to see yourself sitting back and having people do that for you eventually?
Yeah, 100%. So where I'm going now is I'm building the tiling company to a point where I've got very loyal, say, subcontractors.
Quality contracts.
Yeah, that work for me. I would like to be able to take a step back. I'd get a few long-term projects. They can handle them. And then I can really channel focus and energy and time into the construction business.
Yeah.
And then hopefully the tiling can sort of run itself. Obviously, I'm going to have a big part to play in it, but it can sort of tick over quite nice and push it to the side for a little bit.
So you'll be taking more of the back seat, just if there's problems, come to me. If not,
yeah, pretty much. Oh, that's where I want to go. Similar for you, I suppose, isn't it?
I want to gravitate away from consulting and more into being a business owner of our construction business. I think it's quite interesting, that transition. It sounds like you guys obviously still working and having your business as well are in quite a similar position. And I always wonder, I think, is there an opportunity cost to me still working? Obviously I still sort of have to work to generate an income. And we're quite lean in our business. We don't pay ourselves a salary from the business. It's we want to generate a good balance sheet for investing in future projects.
I think we know where we want to go, so we know that.
It's early days, isn't it?
It's quite easy to take money out and go, oh well, we've done really well, but actually we know exactly where we want to go, and we know eventually the end goal. So we're quite happy just to work really hard, leave the money in the business, and put it towards other projects and cash flow and things like that.
So you have your other jobs as well to back it up.
Yeah. But then I think sometimes when I'm going to work, or I'm working on my consulting business or your tiling or whatever, you often think, is there an opportunity cost to that? Or if I went like cold turkey and had to make it work? So I sometimes ponder that and think,
ponder it all the time. Yeah, ponder it all the time.
I think it just comes hand in hand, doesn't it?
Yeah. That transition it is happening. So
yeah. So I mean, we're almost our own worst enemies in the respect that we love the pressure. We thrive off pressure. With that, it almost gets us up, doesn't it? The pressure of, maybe the work might dry up, but actually we'll make sure it doesn't. So we thrive off that. We know where we want to go, and we're going to make it happen. It's as simple as that for us, I think.
Brilliant. Well done, boys.
Thank you.
Lovely.
So much.
Happy?
Thank you very much.
Good. Nice to meet you both.
Yeah, likewise.
Well, met you, and I.
Yeah.
I haven't met this kind of songs. Right, nice one. Well done, boys. Well done.
Perfect. Thank you.
I just have to touch him up. I have to touch him up.